All right, welcome everyone. Ever wanted to talk directly to a network device? I mean really talk to it, not just with a mouse and some clicks. Well, today we're diving into the powerful language of the Command Line Interface, or CLI. This is going to be your very first real conversation with the hardware that makes our networks tick.
So, what's on the agenda? First, we'll tackle why we even use a CLI. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, making the connection, learning the grammar so we don't sound silly, and then the fun part, issuing our very first commands.
Okay, so first things first, why are we ditching the nice, comfy point-and-click menus we're all used to? Let's get into why, in the world of networking, commands are definitely king.
Okay, let's break this down. On one side, you've got the GUI, the graphical user interface. You know, it's pretty, it's visual, super user-friendly. But for the pros, the real power is on the other side, with the CLI, the Command Line Interface. It's all text, and that text gives you surgical precision. The big deal here is reliability. A GUI can freeze up, it can crash. The CLI, though, it's a rock-solid, direct line to the hardware. And that's absolutely essential when you get into scripting and automation.
And really, this is the bottom line. In a professional setting where every second of uptime and every bit of accuracy counts, the CLI isn't just a nice-to-have. Nope, it's the industry standard for a reason. You get direct, totally unfiltered control over that device. No middleman.
All right, so how do we kick off this conversation? Well, it all starts with a physical connection. You can think of it like a digital handshake to get the ball rolling.
So our main way in is this thing called the console port. Just imagine it's a special door on the back of the device. It's the one you use for the initial setup. You know, when the switch is fresh out of the box and doesn't even have a network address to its name yet.
And getting connected is actually super simple. It's just a three-step dance. You plug in the special console cable, you fire up a terminal program on your computer, something like PuTTY, and you hit connect. Boom, that's it. A command prompt pops up and you're officially ready to start talking.
Okay, so we're in. But hold on, you can't just start shouting random words at it. Just like learning any new language, we've got to learn the basic grammar and structure. We need to understand the rules of the device's operating system, which for us is the famous Cisco iOS.
The moment you connect, you land right here, in what's called user exec mode. The dead giveaway is that little greater than symbol you see in the prompt. Think of this as the lobby. It's a totally safe look but don't touch kind of area. You can poke around and check on things, but you absolutely cannot make any changes.
Now, if you want to get any real work done, you've got to get past the lobby and into the command center. That's privileged exec mode. And you'll know you're there when you see the prob change to a hash symbol or a pound sign. From here, you have the keys to the kingdom. You can view and change literally anything on the device.
So how do you move around? This table basically shows you the secret passcodes. The enable command? That's your key to get from the lobby into the command center. Configure terminal takes you even deeper, into the actual configuration mode. And when you're done, commands like exit or disable are your way back out. Simple as that.
Okay, now for probably the single most useful trick in the entire system. Seriously, if you're ever feeling lost, if you have no idea what to type next, just hit the question mark key. That's it. The iOS will immediately show you every possible command you can use right where you are. It's like having a built-in cheat sheet.
All right, we're connected. We know the basic grammar. I think we're ready. It's time to have our first real conversation and actually start configuring this thing.
And the very first thing any network admin worth their salt does is give the device a proper name. I mean, think about it. In a network with maybe hundreds of devices, a generic name like switch is completely useless. But something descriptive like SW-floor1, now that's useful. It's absolutely key for knowing what you're working on.
And check that out. See? The second you hit enter, the prompt itself changes to the new name. That's your instant confirmation that the command worked. That immediate feedback is one of the things that makes the CLI so powerful.
Okay, next up, and this is a big one, security. An open, unsecured network device is just asking for trouble. So first, we're going to lock down that all-powerful privileged mode with what's called an enable secret. Then, we're going to add another layer of security by putting a password on the console line itself, so you need a password just to start the conversation.
Now here's a crucial heads up. By default, some of these passwords are saved in plain text. Yeah, not good. Anybody who can see the config file can see the password. But there's a simple fix. Just one command. Service password encryption. Tells the device to scramble them all up. It's a basic but essential step.
Another cool thing you can do is set up a welcome or maybe an unwelcome banner. It's called a Message of the Day, or MOTD. This is basically a legal warning that pops up for anyone who tries to connect. It's a clear keep out sign for unauthorized users. Whatever you type between those two hash marks is exactly what they'll see.
Okay, pay close attention, because this next part is maybe the most important concept of the day. Every single change we've made, the name, the passwords, it's all just living in the running config. Think of it like writing on a whiteboard. It's there, but it's temporary. If that switch loses power right now, poof, all our hard work is gone. To make it permanent, we have to save it to the startup config. That's like carving it into stone. It's stored in a special memory that survives a reboot.
And this is the magic command that does it. Copy running config, startup config. You're literally telling the switch, hey, take everything on the whiteboard and carve it into stone. This is the absolute last thing you do before you walk away from a device. You gotta save your work.
I really like this way of putting it. The whole session was our conversation with the switch. This final command is just us saying, hey, remember everything we just talked about? That way, the next time it powers on, it'll remember its name, the passwords, and all the important rules we just gave it.
And that's it. You've just had your very first successful conversation with a Cisco device. We went from plugging it in, to configuring it, to saving our work. But, setting passwords is really just step one. So that leads us to a final, pretty important question to chew on. Now that you've locked down the digital access, what's the single biggest threat that still remains? Something to think about.